Alright, is this working? This has got to be working, right? Okay, so I've just confirmed that it is working, and hello there, Avatar Cage, how are you? Rises from the dead. I know that feeling. Oh boy. There might be some wind from this vent above me, so pardon me if there's a bit of extra mic noise. So how are you guys doing? Just woke up recently, huh? Well, at least you've finally been getting some sleep. Oh man, these past few weeks have been a bit stressful for me, I won't lie. Oh boy. So, on this question, how many of you stay up late at night gaming or something? I'll be real, I have been guilty. But how about you guys? How many of you are honest? Hello there, Nike Man. You always stay up? Well, why did you say you just woke up? As my saying used to go, SMH my head. Don't ask me why I say that, but it's a thing apparently. Oh boy. I love how this project that I promised would be done and have an SMP for last year is still taking me a lot of time to finish. Hopefully this means I'm doing it right, but with the amount of time it's taken, it's no wonder I went from 7.16K to 7.13. Though I will say, it's been a little harder to work on videos lately, because let's just say too many commitments and I want to rest. Yeah, it does happen. When burnout happens, it happens. Yet at the same time, I keep coming back. Doesn't matter how long, but I keep coming back. So for those of you that are still playing Isle and all that, how's that been going for you guys? Any good updates lately? Probably not much, huh? I imagine David Bazuki's been burning his own company to the ground. Really is unfortunate. I'm still holding out some hope, but I imagine if someone's going to do Roblox right, it's going to have to be someone else. I will hold out some hope, though, because they did at least start banning some bad actors from the platform, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Roblox's chat update really killed the game for a lot of people. And it wouldn't be so much of an issue for me if they didn't do the whole age verification slop. Yeah, they were pressured to do it, public and government alike. And it really is unfortunate that the government is on the side of age verification at the moment. There is some hope, though. I have seen some progress from protests and other stuff. So I'm hoping things improve in that area. It does help reassure folks about humanity, at least to an extent. Let me see. I thought I had a preset for this. It's a little too volcanic. I think this was the one. Nah, this wasn't it. It has to be a dark color. Let's try this. Oh, there are some blocks I haven't selected. Okay. Let me just add those to the list. Yeah, I believe it. Without chat, it really is just a ghost town by this point. I remember Paleo and I had a little discussion about that after I posted my quitting video. Like, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of devs that are really unhappy with Roblox. Because this chat update is killing a lot of games. Really good games at that. Okay, I think I'm just going to have to put up with the fact that I'm not going to get every block on the first go. But at least doing the basics here, I can go ahead and proceed like so. Also, what is Obsidian doing here? What's another block I can use with the color here? Is there another? I think I've got an idea. Let's see how this works. I think I kind of like the look of that. Feels a little too much like I'm looking at a cow, though. How about this? Nah. Just doesn't look right. Let me see about... Still feels a little, cow or Dalmatian, but I'll go with it. You guys know this area, right? This is Rock B, where the balloon is. The area I'm painting currently is about where the lever is. And when that gets pulled, a gate over here opens up. And you can get the rope for the balloon, which would be in here somewhere when I start building it. And then somewhere up here, I've got to start adding grass, I think. I think I'm going to save that preset for later, just in case I need it again. And hopefully with this, I can start moving forward. So with Roblox having that chat update stuff going on, what have you been up to lately? And anything in particular interests you guys? Like, I know a few indie games that are starting to become popular. Oh, you started a video about Isle? Nice. Is it a lore video, or challenge run, or what? Procrastination hits us all pretty hard sometimes. And what can I say? I'm a master of the art. You know, I had that idea for making a video in Isle. I never really followed through with the video part. But I remember this one case where a guy who wanted to do facility was taking the secret underwater entrance and drowned because they turned a bit too close to the corner in the lake. Like, instead of taking the cave, they went a little too far away from that cave. You know what I mean? So they ended up drowning. I returned to the surface, and I survived. But you can tell some people have a bit of a challenge remembering exactly where that cave is. I don't exactly blame them, especially since I had trouble with that cave when I was starting out originally, and oh yeah, the Indie missions. The Indie missions was quite a challenge remembering where stuff was, and with the challenge of decreased vision, pretty much everything becomes a significant challenge. But I was able to pull it off in aisle 9, and I probably still could in aisle 10. You know what? I think I'm going to paint the top of this with dirt and then do some rock. Like on this ring here. Like maybe a noise brush with a different palette would work. Like if I start here, I guess. And then with this noise brush, let me see. I could just get away with this, I guess, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it has not enough substance to it, if you know what I mean. Oh, you're seeing the ruins already? Let me get a little closer view for you. There's definitely a bit of stone here in these ruins, but there really isn't much to it, if you see. Except, I guess, the mountain here, but there needs to be more structure. And as you can see, I still need to do this part here. But we'll get there. You'll see. But at the very least, we're getting a lot closer to finishing up the balloon and all that. Let's see, how do I want to handle this area down here? Because there's a lot of stone. And honestly, I'm not sure how the trees that are there grow on that stone. Yeah, it really does feel a little weird saying Isle in Minecraft. Also, I figured out the area for the bungalows here. I've got the boardwalk all set up. I just need to add the huts. I'm just going to clear that selection real quick so that I don't forget. There are some areas in this map that are not going to be in the real game, but I think it's for the better I do it that way, because, you know, Easter egg stuff. The kind that people always want to see. Am I right, or am I right? There's only one right answer. The question is, do I know the answer? I think I do. We'll see if I do. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more dirt here so I can grow more grass. Grow mower grass. What the heck would that be? Hello, I'm going to mow your lawn and then grow it back. Great, now that Now that I've said it, I forgot exactly what my mispronunciation was. But you know what? I don't care enough to repeat that. I'm just gonna add more grass here. Of course, the question is, am I putting it in the right place, or am I just putting dirt here for the sake of dirt? Let's just add more dirt. Can never have enough. After all, I'm doing all the dirty work. Why don't I? Why is there water here? Because it helps the grass grow. I see. You know, I'm just gonna leave that there. That probably won't come back to haunt me. Why am I placing blocks? This is so much easier. This is so much easier. Yeah, there we go. Grass won't grow here unless there's light. So I just need to place these long enough for the grass to grow here. And then everything will be fine. The high random tick rate will solve the missing grass problem for me. And besides, it's fun watching grass grow, contrary to what some people believe. That reminds me, I have yet to touch grass today. Problem solved. Now back to work. Him being able to obliterate you at close range, too OP. I don't know. I'm able to do some pretty good damage at close range. Especially if I have the right armor. And the right weapons at that. Grass is deadly. Let's test the hypothesis. See, I'm fine here. There's nothing wrong. That wasn't the grass. That totally wasn't the grass. Ah well, I need to load those chunks anyway. Let's see now. Kill Hornet with a stick, no armor, and a pumpkin on your head with nausea. Oh, come on, what do you think I am, a challenge runner? Oh wait, that's basically the core of my channel. Roblox challenge running. And now that I've quit Roblox, oh boy, where am I going next? But Minecraft. Minecraft challenge runs, anyone? I don't think I know that guy. Any reason why I should? Oh, so it's a game, not a guy. Okay. As far as adding stuff to this game, well, this map goes, I basically just want to create the look of the isle. Not fully respective to the actual isle, but close enough in resemblance while adding my own twists to it. Very violent, huh? Gotcha. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play that one based on what little I've looked up, but I'm sure it'll be fun. My current building plans involve the Isle, the mothership, and the prison. Like, the place... Like, you know the Isle lobby, right? The Isle lobby is the prison. And you know how the Transport 2, the boat, carries folks to the Isle? Well, there's this mod called Valkyrian Skies that lets me build actual moving ships. And what that'll be for is the Transport 2, along with the boat escape and whatever else I decide to use it for. There's this mod called Starlance that I'm currently looking at. It's supposed to let you build spaceships. I don't know if it's compatible with Ad Astra. I know it is with Cosmic Horizons, but if it is compatible with Ad Astra, that would actually be really good. A really easy space mod to work with, and spaceships to go with it. Custom spaceships. That would be really cool, in my opinion. So if that does work, expect to see it. Speaking of the Transport 2, I still need to finish this thing. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the focus of the stream. Then again, I did say and more. We'll see. But right now, I'm going to focus on Rock B, since I pretty much have that almost done. Add the mod where you have a 1 in 10,000 chance every second to get jump scared by Withered Foxy. Add a random horror mod and don't tell nobody. I think it would be a little hard to tell nobody. Like, I know some people will call themselves nobodies, but, you know. It's still a little hard to tell nobody. Like, sometimes the act just tells on itself. But of course, that doesn't stop me from telling people to fake it. After all, we know all that you have to do to get popular is to just act it out. Am I right, or am I right? There's only one right answer. I do not plan to make survivalist in Minecraft. I'll let someone else have the honors. I'm still moving a little too fast here. This is the part of the Minecraft build that takes the longest. And the one friend that's been willing to help me with it, well, this is hard for them to want to do, and I don't blame them one bit. But I will tell you what is easy despite the high random tick rate. Growing jungle trees. Let me see. I've got that. Let me just save this preset real quick and delete this other one. Also, I really need to resave this thing. Oh. Why did I make the radius so big? I don't need it that big. There, that works. As far as I'm aware, those nuclear silo things on the Isle map, I'm pretty sure there's nothing to them at the moment, besides some nearby crates underwater. I think a level 3 or a level 4 may be required. That said, if you're going to do that, bring some diving gear. That said, I'm a little surprised they would put that kind of loot so close to the hangar. I think that might actually make the siege a little easier, if you ask me. There we go. Now that I've got the right preset saved and ready, let's do this. You're gonna grow, right? Come on. You got all this room. Why aren't you growing? There's a guaranteed tier 4 in Monkey Land? Huh. How about that? Will that work? It worked! Yes! Is there a place feature command in 1.20.1? Is there? Honestly, I think the tool that I'm using is easier. Just saying. You had to leave behind your one remaining teammate and just run for the lair as fast as possible. 28 weeks later theme playing in your head. How am I going to make the Sea Leviathan? Because you can just bridge over the water? Well, let me tell you how. Can you place blocks in adventure mode? The correct answer is not without specific tags on the item. That said, I could probably also have some kind of command thing with tags. Oh, see you, Night Command. Thanks for showing up. I could also make a thing where it'll detect the distance, and if you don't have a certain tag, then it could just auto-kill you or something. I don't know. Let me see. Where did they put the lever? Okay, that's where they put the lever. Do I really not have... Huh. I guess that's a setting I'm gonna need to turn on. I'm sure somebody will get that reference. I'm sure that'll also remind me that I need to actually set up the command stuff for that. You know, the one thing that has always bothered me, why doesn't this emit light? Can I even place this in here? Okay, yes I can. Like, yeah, it's a torch flower. Why doesn't it emit light? This is Minecraft. Torches are supposed to be bright. This is a torch flower. Like, come on. When you're on the Isle, you can see the moon and the sun, but when you're in orbit, you can't. What if they are just holograms? Why are you asking me about simulations? Why are you asking me about the realism of a simulation? What realism is there to be had? Let me see. Oh. Actually, I think I've taken care of the grass around the lever already. What I don't understand is why there are patches of grass in this cave. Like, so many patches of grass. It's not even funny. But I guess it's nothing I can't deal with a noise brush. Let me see. Yeah, I think that should work. I just need to apply this to the surface. Maybe give it a more controllable radius. Huh. I feel like this is incorrect. Like, it is patches of grass here, but you know, I feel like the implementation of this should be a little inverted. Let me see. Anything I can do about this? Let me change the seat, perhaps. Maybe that'll help. And with that, hopefully... Still not frequent enough around here. Let me try randomizing the seat again. Probably would be easiest if I just stick with the brush here. Never rely on random number generation to do your job for you. Only you can stop AI. For a second I thought that was lava here. I'm not sure why. Okay, hopefully that should be good enough. And when I go back to creative mode, this just solves itself. I don't want to build the balloon quite yet, because... Well, I don't want to build the balloon in its place yet, because I want to implement Valkyrian skies here. But I guess if I work on it up here, then I should be able to get the shape right, and then just copy the structure over. Let me see if I can do that. Alright, then this way, and that should be a nice platform to start with. I mean, technically this balloon is going to be a Zeppelin, because you are actually going to be in control of that balloon. Like, which direction it goes and everything. Alright, let me start with the basket. How do I want to do this? What material would actually work best? Bamboo looks appealing right now. Let me see. Anything else, or... What else do we have to work with here? Let me see. A lot of non-block stuff down here. Like, how does that look? Okay, what setting is causing this? There we go. Okay. Now I just need to actually move this a little to the corner. There we go. Now I've got it centered up. Now it looks like an egg. I've already had breakfast, but my appetite is already going again. Let's see. Options, controls, operator items tab. Thank you for that, Avatar. Actually, why don't I just do it this way? Yeah, there we go. And then just some seats here. I promise you this isn't a radioactive balloon. When I finish it, will I keep updating it as the original adds new things? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how motivated I am to make the updates. At least outside the whole SMP stuff. If I do a server, then maybe. But the question is, how many people would actually be interested in a server? And if I get enough people interested, ooh, think of all the pay-to-win stuff I could put on there. All the business abuses and all that. Just think, the money. It would be perfect. Just like everything else in this map that I totally have no clue what I'm doing with. I don't know, I think I like that. The burner would be somewhere here. Don't become like Roblox. Oh, okay. I think basalt here might work. And I think if I do it like this... I can just convert these to balloon blocks when I add Valkyrie and Sky Spec and Eureka. There has to be a sphere on top. I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. How does that look? Almost like a light bulb. It's like I had an idea, and it almost worked. Okay. It still looks like a light bulb, but I think I like that a little better. Let me see if I can make it look a bit more like, I don't know, a balloon. Perhaps if I move up a little bit. You know, even the original balloon looks a bit like a light bulb. And it does have a camo top to it, so... Let me see about adding something there. Of course, what good is a camo top if you're up in the sky and everyone, including the mercenaries, can see you? Which, speaking of which, how is the makeshift cloak supposed to make you any less visible to them? All the way up in the air. You're a flying bush. It's obviously not a bush. It's a person wearing a bush. But yeah, I have kind of contemplated the idea of doing a Minecraft server with the Isle theme. And maybe adding some other games to it. Like, how many of you guys are familiar with Run from the Beast? Anyone? No? Well, it used to be a pretty fun server minigame. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that again in Minecraft. There we go. Almost reminds me of a Pokeball now. Alright, and now I need to add some... Oh, well there's Bedork bees on top of this balloon. Too bad I can't add those. It'd be copyright infringement. But come on, who cares about that? Me, obviously. Close enough. Let me see. I think I can add some patches of brown to the green here. Make it a bit more like a camo. It's probably not going to be a very accurate camo, though. Yeah, close enough. I think this looks pretty good for the balloon. Do I have any other options, though? Well, I certainly have some color options, I guess. Probably something to explore another time. But at any rate, I need a burner. This ought to work. And... that ought to do it. That'll be a ship engine later. Yeah, I think the smooth quartz here would actually work better. And with that, I think I finished the balloon. A nice and simple build. Now, what was needed for this thing again? It needed ropes, it needed the burner. Oh, sandbags. That's what I forgot. For now, I'll leave it at this, and replace the heads later. Unless I have a better option here somewhere that I'm not noticing. Oh wait, I do have a better option. Can I put... yeah, I didn't think so. There we go. Now I just need to orient it correctly. And... there we go. We have a sandbag. Okay, so it's facing west. Oh. Whoops! Wrong block. There we go. These poor pigs. Why did they have to end up here? And there we go. We have sandbags. A smoker instead of a furnace. Well, I guess as far as looks go, it'd make more sense. Though I am going to have to put a ship engine there, and it is going to look like a furnace. But I guess for now, we can do it this way. And you know, I wonder if at some point they'll consider letting us use different textures for the ship engine outside of resource packs when we use Eureka. It would be nice. I'll have to do the internal plank stuff, which is gonna be interesting given how that complex network of planks works, and I'm not sure I'll have the time for that. I am already wasting a lot of time as is. I think next we'll do the bungalows, because this boardwalk is nice and all that, but it needs a bit more substance. Let me see how the huts look. Well, I found the volcano. How about... Ah, there we go. Now I think I'm going to have some stairs here. That actually works out, I think. Now the question is, how big do I want these cabins? Because I know I'm going to have to copy-paste them. I think I know. Okay. Yeah, I think this space might work. And then the walls. How do I want to build the walls? I also just noticed my inventory is pretty full. Let me just fix that. There we go. And actually, this needs to be spruce. Problem solved. Okay. Except I actually need this a little more to the left. There we go. And now, fence. What the heck? It's growing too fast. It's a log. Let me see. Does this go here? Yes, it does. And now, all of a sudden, the allergies are getting to me. Oh boy. That's going to make things interesting. As if my voice couldn't get much worse already. I love the debug stick so much. It really makes it easier to get those fine details. Alright. Now I have the poles extending to the... I'm not sure what to call it, because it's not quite ocean, but it is connected to the ocean. I'll just call it the ocean floor. Actually, I think the poles need to be a bit closer in, but how is that going to leave me much room here? You know what? I'm fine with this. Now we've got enough room. Except I need this to be a different color, because the color of the walls is actually brighter. You know what? When in doubt, use oak. And now a little stacking. And then the roof. You ever thought about living in a house of candy and then realizing that the neighbors would probably be eating it up? That's kind of what I think about using hay for houses as well. The moment a player sees it, they're going to think, oh, look at all the bread I can make with these hay bales. You ever just have that random thought? You ever just have that random thought? I think I like building it this way a little better. It is kind of a slope like this. But yeah, have you ever thought that someone might try to eat your house if you make it out of food? Or some kind of food item? That would be a mildly interesting incident. Having built a house only for it to be treated like food. Hello, sir. You have one heck of a loaf of bread on your ceiling right now. Can I have some? What? I mean, you know how much wheat would have to go into this? Okay, I'll see what acacia looks like. Incacia, right? All of a sudden, this sandwich build looks a bit more appetizing. Like a hot dog. But there are windows on this build. And you know how I feel about Windows. It's better than Apple. Some people will disagree with me on that, but you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. That's not gonna work. There we go. Much better. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, where are the windows? They're gonna be over here. And then... What parts of the walls? Oh. So I'm wrong. There aren't even these poles on the front. I love redoing my own builds. It's quite fun if you ask me. It still feels off, like the whole thing is too low. Maybe I should just bring it up a block. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna adjust. Problem almost solved. There we go, much better. And now, to board up the windows, because that is what they do in the actual aisle build. There is a part of me that wonders how mangrove would look instead of jungle for the boardwalk. Though I'm not sure I want to do that. But at the same time, this is my build. I can do whatever. Let me just do this. And then this. Alright. Now the question, was this worth it? Because I am not sure. No, I should resist the urge to use bamboo. It looks like I made a sandwich here and then spilled ketchup in such an elaborate way to make a boardwalk. I'm not sure I like that. And then, of course, I can't forget the crates that are here. How do I want to do those, though? I could just do the boxes that I've been doing, but I don't know. What if I got a little fancy and found something fancy? Not a shulker. I hope not a shulker. Maybe a beehive. Oh. I guess the people who lived here are farmers. That's unfortunate. Oh boy. The placement is going to be rather rough. Thank you. You do the talking for me here. Yes, very elaborate. Uh-huh. Yeah. How are you using that here where there are no crops anyway? How do the other ones look? Okay, so they're not all going to look the same. Pardon me, I am going to destroy your property real quick. Except for the house, you can keep the house. I'm going to extend that over here, and then... Okay, so I'm going to need to bring that over here. I'm going to have to do the... Oh man, I need to extend this, oh no. Oh, I can't have it easy, can I? That should be enough to fit 2, right? Can I fit 2 of these here? Please? Please? Yay! I can, but I need more room for the next one! Okay, how about this? Will this work? No, because I did not turn it. Whew! Problem solved. And now for the house in the middle. How's this gonna look? Honestly, I think I like this. I think this turned out okay. What a pleasant surprise. Okay, now, for the fun part. Gotta get these fence posts just right. Block. Fence. Yay! Water. Help me, I cannot swim. Just fly underwater. This isn't swimming, this is flying underwater. With style. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, problem solved. Not even close. Fence. Sometimes I have to wonder how these supports actually work in practice, given that you've got water that's constantly moving, and these supports are so thin. Like, how does that work? Like, I'd think there'd have to be some kind of difficulty keeping the structure. There are multiple poles, though. Like, per corner. So maybe that would have something to do with it. I'm just grateful I can afford to be lazy with the physics here. Because this is Minecraft, and nothing in Minecraft is ever realistic. But anyways, I think this is coming along pretty nicely so far. And if I think the acacia doesn't work, well, I only have to replace it. And thankfully, I don't have to do it all by hand. Think of all the time I would have to waste on that. Okay, almost there, and voila. You know, sometimes I wonder if I could have just done this more easily with Axiom. And sometimes I think, why didn't I just do it with Axiom? And sometimes I think I'm overthinking things. It's annoying to think about if you think about it. Okay, I think that will do the initial housing here. At least until I have the time to add the poles underneath. Also, I think I'm missing poles up here. That's going to be really awkward for replacing the schematic. Okay, let's try this again. And... ah, there we go. Whew. Okay, now to fix this for the other ones. If the houses are made of acacia planks, so must the bridge. I'm not sure acacia would work for the bridge so well. I'll have to give it some thought, I guess. Let's see now. And with that, these initial houses are done. Now how about these rather weirdly placed houses on the side here? Oh. Wrong direction. No worries. I can save this. Yes. There we go. And now, with that, and then a house over here. Very nice. 5 more houses, and I've got to fit all of them. What? I don't know what super pickaxe is supposed to be. I need to figure this out, but not on stream. Because I am boring when I do strange experiments that wind up in the whole server exploding. But guys, it looks so interesting! Da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And with that, all that needs to be added now is the extra fences below the cabins. I'll do that another time. But I think I can go ahead and add some props here, because why not? I can't add them to the boardwalk exactly, but... let me just see what I can do here. Where's the villager? Where's the villager? He wandered off. Where'd he go? Oh, man. Just when I was almost done, he had to move. That's what you get for moving. Isn't that how they do it in certain places? Well, I noticed that certain windows aren't actually boarded up here. You know, as I place these lanterns, I have to wonder, do speedrunners actually like the light lamp speedrun category? I've always found it weird and somewhat glitchy. Let me see now. And I mustn't forget, if the cache ever appears here, there we go. Oh yeah, and there is a chair and a lantern. Okay, wrong side. There are tables and chairs in the houses. That's why we're setting up the props now. There we go. Honestly, I think the extension looks better there. But of course, it is angled in here, so let's use that. Why not? There we go. And now the chair. Let me just use a slab. Steal an idea from someone else. Okay. That does it for that cabin. Except the fence down here. That needs adding. Oh, why do I need to worry about that, actually? I can always just go to the next house. Oh yeah. The one where the guaranteed proximity mine is. Isn't that just lovely to think about? Having a bomb just laying around in the house. One down, 20 more to go. Exactly. If only they had placeable bowls. There we go. Down to the finest details. Because that's totally how I'm doing this map. What do you think I was doing earlier? What do you think I was doing earlier? SMH my head, as usual. But yeah, I'm not going to use the same props for every house. It just doesn't make sense for me to do that. You know what? Let me just do it this way. Only if I feel like putting the collectibles there. Like, I felt like putting that there. But honestly, trying to put in all the collectibles is going to be too much work. Good progress so far, I think. Now, I'm not really going to be able to put in all the collectibles, because not all the collectibles are the props, because it just wouldn't be practical, would take too much work, etc., etc. But I do want to try to fit in what I can. Where do they put all the torches here? Let me see. You've just joined. Can I show what I've built so far? You know what? Sure. I figure it's worth having a tour around the place. Let me just turn up the speed a little bit. This here is the rock where you get the drone, Rock A. I've decorated this place quite a bit. Feels a bit more like Minecraft. And I just worked on the bungalows here, as you can see. I still need to work on the ruined cliffs here, like the stone ruins here. Thank you, but also please watch your language. I do try to keep things somewhat clean around here. Rock B in progress. Also, some chunks need to load again. That's fun. And over here we've got the hangar if the chunks will load here. And just think, I am going to be using this area in a video at some point. Oh yeah, let me show you how the hangar plane works. It's pretty fun. Nice and fast. Bit floaty though. Watch it fly. Watch it fly. It can make it all the way to the ends of the earth. Yep, this is the hangar plane, folks. I totally don't have any different designs in mind related to certain mods later. That is the hangar plane for y'all. And here we have the beach cabins, a work in progress. How did you end up out here? Let's get you back. I thought you had slow fall. What is this? The caves are still a work in progress. I'm gonna need to put some real hard work into those, because I need to measure those just right. Huh. So, I have a spare plane right there. Very nice. And let me say, those planes have some real horsepower to them. Huh. It seems I've killed the code there. Well, thankfully, I don't think anyone else is going to know where to look to figure out where the code is. Okay. Maybe next time... Wait. Actually? I wonder if this is... I wonder if that's just the fault of me copying the regions over. It probably didn't copy the entities. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Yeah, I think the entities are on the single-player world that has that stuff. Meaning I just... You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. You guys probably already know what's going on. But at any rate, let's go explore the world, shall we? I am moving too fast. As you see, we've got the military camp here. And this will later be a better designed cave. But as you see, I've already got some work done on the caves. Welcome to the radio station. This door probably won't be used for much of anything. This place needs to be lit up a little better. And then we've got the layer here. In time, there will be a spaceship, and a Hornet, and an upgrader, and whatever else is over here. We have the plane shed. I forgot how elaborately I designed the roof here. but there will be escape items there. And of course, takeoff. I don't know where I'm going, but it's a takeoff. The underground gate thing that leads to Monkeyland. I'm not sure that's a gate. It's been a while since I've played, though. If it is a gate, chances are there's a lever. But odds are, if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, that's not a gate. That's a grating. Also, this is full of water now, isn't it? This area here? I might have to change that later. And of course, the good old watchtower. Eventually, over here at the lighthouse, I'm going to have the cargo ship. I'm thinking of having two variants. Like, one will be the one that's there now, the other will be the one that had the more orange hull. And of course, everyone's favorite, the Giver. You know, I really like this stair design when designing wooden plank walls. We got through the gate. Jump scare. It's the Giver. Anyway, let's go ahead and go elsewhere for a moment. Oh, right, I looked away. Let's go elsewhere for the moment. Like, what do we got here? The generators. As you can see, we have our happy little bulldozers just sitting here doing basically nothing. Oh look, I've powered the hangar. And you've seen basically everything that I've got so far. I have some work on the facility, but that needs some ironing out. Also, why do I still have a region selected? But yeah, as you see, I've been doing some work. And I'd like to say it's going to be fun to play, but only time will tell for sure. And it may need some mods to be a bit more like Isle. Like, I'm sure you've heard of Timeless and Classics Zero. It's a pretty fun gun mod. The only issue is many of the guns pierce armor. And I'm not talking like the flamethrower bypassing ballistic vest. I'm talking like the armor may negate some damage, but that negation is decreased. That does make things a little awkward, but at any rate, things are working pretty well so far, and I've got some plans to scale stats accordingly. That way it should be a tad better balanced, especially since there may very well be PvP for the upcoming SMP. Let me see here. nice. Let's check out the land bridge here in my reference. There's a lot of grass and path in this area. I think I'll just do a little bit of painting. I don't think that's enough radius. Let's try this. Much better. There we go. Like this. Alright. Stone ruins. I need to build the stone ruins. So we can go tornado hunting. Stone ruins. This is a song I put together. Stone ruins. Just a little bit of improv. I forgot what this hole is for, but it's clearly for something. Because I don't know why else I would have placed it. It's probably for artsy. Stone ruins. Just gotta wait for the remix. Stone ruins. A lot of problems I need to fix. Stone ruins. A lot of blocks here in the mix. Stone ruins. Gonna need a lot of diamond picks. The things I do in my streams are real weird sometimes, but I'm sure that's how you guys like it, right? Okay, let's start growing some grass and watch it flow. The color green is conquering the world. What about this area here? Yeah, there we go. Alright. Wait, what? What the heck? What? What is this doing here? What the heck? Oh, that's silly. Okay. So clearly there's some work to do here. Do I want to keep this top or remove it? You know what? I think I'll keep it. Let me see. Where is the... here we go. This will help me merge the two a little. And then with a little radius here, if I just smooth it out like so, and maybe add a little more down here. You know, sometimes I wonder why YouTube does strange things like removing clips after adding them. Like, was somebody getting tired of getting clipped for saying something stupid? and then decided the feature just wasn't necessary after all. I do have to wonder about some corporate decisions. Okay, honestly I think this works. I just need to add the path at this point. And since we don't want it underground, we'll just mask surface. Just gotta do it all the way across. Alright, and then I think there's a little path here that I need to add. That has some unintended consequences. Okay. So the question now is, how do we resolve this? Well, one simple answer. Yeah, that makes me wonder, though. What mod should I use for the tornadoes? Like, I know there are some disaster mods out there. But any in particular that would work well for this? Am I going to do all the entities as well? Probably not all of them, but like I said, I'll do what I can. Frog is already in the works, so you might see him in the frog spawns in a bit. That is to say, maybe another week or two. Like I said around the start of the stream, I've been through a very stressful past few weeks, so if you haven't been seeing much content, that's basically why. Thankfully, this channel is a hobby and not a career. If it was a career, well, let's just say I'd be in a bind. Will modifiers be added? You know, I'm just going to say, if you want to add it, you can go for it. It would be rather easy to do, actually. But right now, I'm just going to focus on the build. The build and the entities. I think that's a bit too much radius there. Let's see about here. Yeah, I like that a little better. Still not ideal, but I'll take it. The three behemoths, the serpents of feather, scale, and gem. I am not going to create those entities, I'll just say that much. If anything, I am going to use other mods to maybe simulate having them. But it won't be exactly them. Trying to make it exactly them, that would require me to either hire a modder or do the modding myself. And I think I've done enough hiring as is. That, and I don't feel like doing it myself right now. Boy. I think this is some smooth progress, all things considered, though. I remember before, when I thought about making this solely vanilla, like, if I went too far out in the ocean, I would just summon the Evoker Fangs that would instantly KO. It would certainly be vanilla. But then, what about the Feathered Serpent? What about the Gem Serpent? Because I don't think I would want the Gem Serpent to be a bunch of these. Just saying. Feathered would likely have to be an Ender Dragon, even though that would technically be a scaled serpent. Let me see now. How about this side? There is also some path down here. It's not much of a path, but there is some. Now, what is this path actually for? Or is it really just a dead end? Yeah, honestly, I think that's just a dead end. I'll just leave it at there. And of course, I do need to add the bricks around here. I have not watched The Last Guest Reimagined. I've seen it come up in my recommendations. Let's just say I remember watching the bacon hair and not quite being satisfied with what appeared to be the conclusion. And with nothing coming up ever since, well, I can imagine there's either going to be no conclusion, or that is the conclusion. But then, if Oblivious is still posting stuff, then it's entirely possible we may see it come to completion, assuming there is still stuff to be done for that. The concluding conclusion. The decisive decision. It all boils down to something. So the last guess really has no conclusion either, or you know, imagine if there was a manhunt on this map. Wouldn't that be interesting to watch? Yeah, I just remembered the caves are not going to be in the right places. But you know what? I think I can work with this. The 4 parts combined, huh? I think I like this a little better here. Yeah, I think I'll work with that. There we go. I think that's a nice start for this part of the ruins. Let me see if I can extend this out a little more. I'm not sure I trust myself with drawing this stuff in Axiom, but I imagine it probably would have made this a little easier. So what did you think of it when it came out? The Last Guest or the Bacon Hair, whichever one you ended up watching. Or I guess I could say ones in case you've seen both. All I really remember at this point was just race war between bacon hares and Geths. Quite exquisite, huh? I guess I wouldn't be too surprised that there are some peculiarities given it's a reimagining. I don't think path works very well for this part. Maybe leading in, and then packed mud here. Yeah, I think I like this better. Maybe that and a bit of granite, maybe, but I'll focus on the mud for the moment. So no ambience, just talking. And just think, down there, you'd be going towards the central reservoir. And then with a little of this. Oh boy. Here it comes. He's adding on stuff. Brace yourselves. It's coming. Okay, I think this will do for now, at least as far as this tunnel's concerned. I think maybe I should add a little more trees here. Trees. We do love the trees. I've got some weird trees like this that I ended up planting incorrectly. We must need the trees. Where's the Lorax to speak for the trees? We must have the trees. Where's the Lorax? Break the cycle, huh? Personally, I think Isle did that just fine for me. Woo! That's a big one. I feel like there really weren't a lot of trees here. I'm just adding trees for the sake of adding trees at this point. You gotta have some nature. Just not on the path. Yeah, it sure would be a problem if we didn't have trees in Minecraft Survival. Reminds me of this one machinima where the trees ceased to exist, and so the guy had to work with stone tools. And the only way to get the trees back was to insert a block in a random ice structure. Like, I don't understand who came up with those ideas back when. Back when Minecraft machinimas were starting out. I'll take your word for it. If it is your favorite game, well, hope you enjoy. I just realized there's a lot of wall stuff here. Okay, so actually these pillars are one taller. Excuse me. Mud bricks really have such a weird placement noise. I would think that is a bug. If medic is clipping into the ground when you do that. You might see if someone else has already reported the bug and what specifically they did to reproduce it. I gotta level out the ground here with the wall. The more I look at the thing in the actual game, the more interesting the structure actually looks. And the more interesting it'll seem to actually build it. Let me see. Okay, so I actually have less than 10 minutes. Probably about 5 till the end of this stream. I guess we'll take stock of what we've done so far. We've made some pretty good progress here on Rock B. I'd say some pretty good progress on the stone ruins here. And we pretty much have the bungalows done. We just need to add the posts underneath and finish the props. I say I've done a pretty good job here. There's going to be a bit more done off camera, but I appreciate what's been done here. It was nice talking to you too. Thanks for coming. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. Just so I have time for everything else I need to do today. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And stay tuned for the frog video coming out in about 2 to 4 weeks, maybe. If I feel generous, maybe sooner. But at any rate, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next mission.